What's up, it's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and today I get to talk about a game and finally talk about one. It's not just a team whose name starts with E crushing a Middle Eastern side. Now, we actually had a really good game today between Netherlands and Senegal, and I think the biggest thing for this game was I actually think Louis van Gaal and his tactical setup really dictated this game. I think that he set the Dutch team up in a way that they were never really going to lose this game. Now, I don't think it's the best idea. I think they got a little bit lucky to win, but just with how many men they had back defensively, Senegal could never take advantage of the 1v1 ability that they had on that Dutch defense. You couldn't get a Sar or Diatta taking on a player, and it was really down to the midfield of Senegal to create for them, and they just didn't really have the ability in the midfield to get past this Dutch side. So the Netherlands would take their chances as they came, as little as they were, and they eventually put one away. Frank de Jong with a great cross into Cody Gakpo for a goal, and they end up winning this game. For Senegal, I think they set up a little bit too defensively today. Their entire midfield was full of just more defensive-minded players, and that wasn't their only options. They could have had put on like a Sar, maybe put Ndiaye in as a 10, and you could really go at that Dutch team, but no, I think neither team really wanted to win, and it was just the Netherlands had a bit of a couple of special players who were able to step up and get that win for them. For players individually, I was really liking a couple of Netherlands players, but there were some weird decisions in there. Starting Noppert in goal, I'll be honest, I knew he was going to be there as I thought he was the third choice goalkeeper that they'd sub on late in games for penalties like they did with Tim Krul, but no, he ended up starting, which was very surprising to me. He didn't let in a goal. I think he didn't really make many great saves. I think he made it look a lot harder than it was, but he had a very good game today. De Ligt was a slight surprise over Timber. I thought that De Ligt really didn't perform great today. He's probably the weakest of the defenders. But again, he did the job, and Yasin was definitely a weird choice up top. I think I said either him or Veghurst would make the team. Both of them ended up making it. I would have gone with Veghurst. But Jensen started, and he actually did a pretty good job combining pretty well. And he actually looked like a pretty decent player. Can't fault the decision to start him. I think the Netherlands, while they did set up pretty well and it ended up getting the result for them, I feel like they could have gotten a lot more out of this game. Just because it worked doesn't mean it was the best idea. Like, for example, if you start Malacia over Daily Blind, you are probably more equipped to deal with the defense and you don't need to have commit so many numbers back. And some players like Bergwijn, they didn't really stand out, but as a whole, I think it was a pretty good performance. The defense was very solid. I thought De Ligt was a little bit shaky. Van Dijk at times. He had that one weird misconnection with De Jong. But they were good. And Nathan Ake apparently looked very good today. I thought he was probably the best defender. If the game ended 0-0, he would have been my man of the match. But the man for them today was Frankie de Jong, who was just such a great player for them. He was the only player in the team, only midfielder in the entire game who could advance the ball forward. You saw when he got on the ball, he could make a man miss. He could make some just decisive passes, and he was just killing Senegal the entire time. He was helping Netherlands so much on the break. You know, he could have probably put a goal away earlier on, but he was doing really well today. He was such a crucial player for this Netherlands side, and he got that assist. And then Cody Gakpo, great job by him. He was making things happen. Just a very creative player. He's in such good form. Good decision to put him further forward later in the game, sub on Klaassen, and you can put Gakpo in as a real striker, and he was able to make something happen. Great performance by him. Depay, Klaassen, Koopmeiners thought they were good substitutions, and they end up doing a very good job. Netherlands are in a great position. I think they're definitely looking like they're going to win the group right now. For Senegal, as I mentioned before, I really didn't like their lineup. It was very defensive, especially with Diallo as a left back when you had Fallou Ballo-Touré and Jacobs there. Jacobs, I thought, had a pretty good game, especially for coming on as a defender. So maybe you look to start him and try to get a little bit more just on ball and good in possession players. I think Tottenham's Sar would have really helped them out in the midfield. He's not a great player, but a little bit more technical than a Mendy, a Koulibaly, a Gay, and I think that would have really helped. I think Ndiaye from Sheffield United, as I mentioned before, just get a number 10 on, get a little bit more going forward, because I think Senegal played to not lose, and they just end up losing at the end. defense really wasn't that great. Netherlands were making a couple of chances. They just weren't able to put them away. It was a pretty poor performance there. I thought that Saar going forward was looking very strong, doing their most dangerous attacker by far, taking on players. They couldn't really get Dia involved much, which definitely hurts. He's one of their best players, and it's really hurt. You could tell that not having Mane really hurt for this team. Because if he's on the field, like maybe you put him in as a 10, you get more attacking players, or he's just a dangerous threat at the wing who could really have run at a daily blend, trying to take advantage of his lack of pace and force Netherlands to be on the back foot. But I think that Senegal just played into Netherlands' hands. I feel like this game went exactly how Louis van Gaal hoped it would, and Senegal did nothing to adjust. I think they just played right into the Netherlands game, and they ended up losing because of it. So moving forward, I really like this Netherlands team. I think they should be able to win the group relatively easily with how solid their defense is and the goal advantage that they should get against Qatar. I don't see Ecuador being able to top the group over them. So things are looking very good for the Netherlands. For Senegal, you're going to have to beat Ecuador at this point. Maybe you could get lucky with goal difference. I don't think you can risk that. So I'd go really hard, just try to beat that Ecuador team. I think they have the talent to do it. They've got a lot of good players in this team. Even though Mane's unavailable, you could have a Sarr step up. You have Dia to do something. Get the ball to Dia. Try to get more attacking players on the field, because if you play like this again, it's going to hurt. So, it's been not the Senegal that I really would have liked to see. I think they did have more of the ball, and they were probably the team that, if you didn't know what Van Gaal was doing, you would have thought that Senegal was the better squad. But and it's good that they're able to do that, because a lot of teams, they wouldn't even have been able to have most of the ball. But it wasn't a good performance today by Senegal. So that's my opinions on the game. Things are looking pretty good for Netherlands. That Senegal-Ecuador game is going to be crucial. And so I'll talk right now. Got the USA game coming up next. Really nervous about that. Hopefully we can get the win, and so I'll talk about it. See ya.